Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer, where we are dealing today with the question of assault. What is assault? Everybody talks about assault. She assaulted me. He assaulted me. What is the law on the question of assault? Happy New Year and welcome to this explainer. We are looking at the Penal Code, where we are basing this discussion that many young men are being arrested and charged in court that they assaulted somebody. And they are saying, me, I didn't know that this is an offense. They always are told, Section 7 of the Penal Code says, any ignorance of the law is no defense against the law. If you commit a crime and allege that you are not aware, that's no defense. So we go to assault. Section 250 of the laws of Kenya, the Penal Code, talks about common assault. What is common assault? Any person who unlawfully assaults another is guilty of a misdemeanor. Any person who assaults another person is guilty of a misdemeanor. What is assault? Do you know assault includes being apprehensive? If somebody is scared, if somebody is threatened, if somebody feels insecure, that is an assault. An assault, common assault, you don't need to cause any harm. You don't need to remove blood from that person. You only need, for example, to touch somebody like this by a finger. Ambia wewe wacha ujinga yako. That is an assault. Have you ever seen people touch people's nose? Wacha upuzi yako hapa. That is an assault. Have you pushed somebody like this? Toka hapa. Wacha kunisumbua. That is an assault. So long as the other person, the one who is being assaulted, feels threatened, feels insecure, that one, if you are found guilty of that common assault, you will go in for 1 year. Why do you want to go 1 year? And that is why we told you in this criminal episode, just avoid crime, wear your tracksuits the way Dan Stanomar is wearing his, run away from crime. But I'm not running away from crime myself, but I'm telling you that is the option. 251, assault causing actual bodily harm. Now we have the second assault where there is actual bodily harm. What does that mean? Any person who commits an assault occasioning actual bodily harm is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 5 years. Bodily harm. What does bodily harm? If you attack anybody and by God's chance he or she has a bruise, a small bruise, any mark of injury on the body, that is assault causing bodily harm. How many times have you been involved in an altercation and somebody has been injured? Remember, there's a difference between causing grievous bodily harm and causing assault causing bodily harm. So here, any form of injury, any form of mark on the body of somebody, you will go in for 3 years. That is assault causing actual bodily harm. 251, insulting modesty by forcible stripping. This is very interesting. Girls walk in town with miniskirts. Have you seen a woman being undressed because she is wearing a skimpy dress? Have you seen people being forced to wear lesos because, according to you, she is half naked? This is an offense to get a woman to strip somebody because you don't believe in it. It has happened all over, on the streets of Nairobi and all over. What does the law say in insulting modesty? A person who intentionally insults the modesty of any other person by forcibly stripping such a person commits an offense and is liable, if convicted, to imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years. Men, now you know. You get women who you think they are skimpily dressed, you undress them, you strip them, you harass them, you'll go in for 10 years. You have no right to strip. But as an advocate also, we are dealing and advising that even those who are being stripped, although the law protects you, you have a duty to be responsible on how you dress, so that you do not attract thugs who can rape you. You do not attract thugs who will strip you. But if you strip a woman because she's in a miniskirt, she's in a tight trouser, she is in whatever type of dressing, you will go in for 10 years. Now you know. Then we have assault on persons protecting a wreck. This is section 252. Any person who assaults and strikes or wounds a magistrate. Have you ever thought of beating up a magistrate because that magistrate has jailed your brother? Have you tried to beat a magistrate? It is an offense. 2, any officer. Officer means any public officer, whether it's a medical doctor, whether it's a teacher, whether it is a policeman. If you attack and wound a police officer, you saw the other day from the clip here, you'll see where a young man was charged for having beaten a police officer and kicked a police officer. Have you seen what is happening on road rage? A traffic police woman stops you, you get out, you start kicking that police officer. That is illegal, and you'll go in for beating a police officer. Then any other lawfully person authorized in execution of their duties, you will go in for 7 years. Now you know. Don't try to slap a policeman. Don't try to attack a traffic officer. Don't try to attack a district officer. Don't try to attack any government officer. If you beat up, you assault, you push, you pull the cloth of a police officer, you will go in for 7 years. Let us look at 253. What are the other assaults? Any person who assaults any person with intent to commit a felony or to resist or prevent the lawful apprehension or detainer of himself of any other person for an offense. That is, if, for example, a traffic police officer enters into your car, then you forcibly detain that person. If police officers come to your house to do a search, you lock them in. You forcibly detain a court process server. Courts, advocates use process servers to serve their documents. These are officers doing their duty. You detain them. 2, you assault, resist, or willfully obstruct any police officer in the execution of his duty or person. If you resist arrest, or if you obstruct a police officer doing their job, Have you ever seen a very, very beautiful young traffic police officer tell you stop? You say you cannot stop. Have you ever obstructed the police who are looking for changa in the villages? Have you obstructed the police who are out to arrest those ones who are dealing with the narcotics and drugs? That is an offense. 3, if you assault any person in pursuance of any unlawful combination or conspiracy to raise the rate of wages, or respecting any trade businesses or manufacture, or respecting any person concerned or employed therein, or you resist and obstruct those people who are government officers doing their job, if you are found guilty, you will go in for 5 years. Assault is a very serious offense. Assault of any public officer, you go in for 7 years or for 5 years. Common assault, and this is what I've said, the law has developed. You only need to pull somebody's cloth like this. That is an assault. You only need to strip a woman who is wearing her clothes and you don't like them. That is an assault. So generally, what we are telling you is that assault, whichever manner it is a serious offense. Avoid assault. Do not assault anybody. Do not make yourself a victim by being imprisoned. Wakili Dan Senomari always brings it to you as it is, because ignorance of the law is no defense against the law. Keep watching, keep looking this episode about the Penal Code from Court Helicopter News. Wakili Dan Senomari wishing you a happy new year.